All right, so this next part here is examples. So here we're going to deal with an example that deals with a truckload of apples. And of these apples, 5% of those apples contain worms. If we pick a random sample of 10 apples, what is the probability that exactly 3 of them have worms? So before we actually go into this, let's make sure we know this binomial distribution or not. So first off, that first step said that we have to have 2 outcomes, success and failure. So let's do that real quick. So success means that we have 5% containing apples. Success equals contains worms. Sorry, not contains apples. Contains worms. All right. So here we know that's the success. Failure means does not contain worms. All right. So we got that. We understand. We see. So success and failure. Success and failure. All right. So with that, if that's the part that's success here, we should be able to see, okay, how many trials are there? So there's 10 apples in all. We pick a random sample of 10 apples. So that means our trial, which is our n, is 10. So step 2 is satisfied. Step 3 says, what's step 3 say, guys? Can you remember that? Can you remember what it was? Step 3 said that they had to be independent of each other. So if I pull out one apple, that has to be independent of another apple, which has to be independent of another apple. And they are. Each apple is separate, independent. So we know we have two outcomes. We have the number of trials. We know that they're both all of them are independent trials here. Like one apple doesn't affect another apple. And then the probability has to be the same for all of it. And it is. That's that 5%. Or if we change that to a decimal, 0.05. Remember, move that decimal over 2 places to the left. This decimal is like understood to be here. Move it over 1, 2. All right. So we have that. So now the last part is, okay, the x. The x is what we're looking for. And we said exactly 3. So if it's exactly 3, that's not less than 3 is not more than 3, it's just 3. So in here, we're just going to do x equals 3. No, here we go. Equals 3. All right, so what we're going to do is go into our decimals. Well, first off, before we do that, not decimals, but TI-84. Before we do that, let's go ahead and type this out. We have n, p, and x, comma, x. All right, so we have that. So we're going to go ahead and change that over to the actual numbers that we have. Oops, sorry, there should not be an I right there. In the calculator, you won't see that I. All right, so we put 10 here, put 0.05 here, and we put 3 here. And it's going to give us the actual number. So in our calculator, we'll turn it on. We're going to go to second and vars, because you see that blue distribution right there? So if we hit the second button and vars, it takes us to distribution. So here, again, just hit second once and then vars. And then we come down until we get to that binomial PDF. Not CDF, but PDF. Hit enter there. Trials is 10. Our probability is 0.05. What we're trying to find is exactly 3. So that's we have 3 for x. We hit paste. And it gives us exactly what's on the screen right here. So if you went back over here, you'll see all of that. So it's exactly what's there. And we hit enter. And look at that. Look at that. We get a probability of 0.0104. We're like, okay, that's probability. Great, great. Sorry, 105. I'm sorry. Remember, this 7 right here takes that 4 up to 5. All right, so here, that's our probability. And that's going to change to the percent. Remember, we move it, if you're changing from decimal to percent, we move it to the right 2 places. And so that's what we're going to do here. So we move it over from here, 1, 2. So we have 1.05%. All right. So in all of that, I thought I was going to take more space than that, so I didn't put the answer there. So here, the probability that exactly 3 apples have worms in them is 1.05%. So it's a low percent. So it really is not going to happen most likely. Or if it does, it's going to be low. Very, 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 very low. Like that one in a million type thing. Kind of, sort of. All right, so let's go to example 2 now, guys.